Here's now Storm Tracker weather. Coverage you can count on.
Getting a look outside early on this morning, you can see it's another hazy start to the day. A live look over Lake Oroville right now. You can see the lake very clearly. The background in the valley, not so much. So that is showing you the visibility is a bit of an impact early on today. It's going to stay an impact throughout your forecast today. Warm and hazy conditions ahead for your Tuesday. A chance for mountain thunderstorms on the way. In fact, it looks fairly likely for the northeast corner of the state. And then we do have a cooling trend ahead in your extended forecast. So some good news moving through the upcoming weekend. This morning, winds mostly out of the east up to around 6 miles an hour right now. That's diverting a lot of that smoke from the Mendocino complex fire and car fire closer to the coast. We're going to see south winds picking up through the day. That's going to also lead to some smoke filtering into the valley from the Mendocino complex fire. So be prepared for poor air quality in Glen, Butte, and Tehama counties from that. And then, of course, the car fire, the Hearst fire, and the Stone fire all having impacts on northern zones of the state today as well. Temperatures this morning, we now dipped into the 50s for Chico and Orrville, low 60s for the I-5 corridor, and we're seeing high 50s to low 60s in the foothills as well. Higher elevations in the mid 40s to low 50s to start off your day, so it's a brisk start to your morning. Air quality, moderate for the majority of Northern California, but take a look at this. Northern mountains as well as the far end of the Sierra and Cascade range for California. Coming in the unhealthy range early on this morning. It's likely going to stay very similar through the day, although yesterday we could see a very similar setup for this afternoon as well, and that's smoke from the Mendocino complex fires blanketing the mid-valley, getting through Butte as well as Glen County. So we're going to watch that very closely. We're likely to see impacts on the way for today. Meanwhile, overhead, clouds not really a factor right now. We are seeing some active weather just north of the California-Oregon border. We're likely going to see some of that sliding down into our neck of the woods for your afternoon. You can see around 3 to around 6 p.m. is the best time frame for that. After that, by around 9 to 10 p.m. tonight, that really settles down. And then by tomorrow, we are just dry across the region. Temperatures today starting out in the high 50s to low 60s, ending up in the mid 90s for the valley this afternoon. Higher elevations starting out in the 40s to low 50s, ending up anywhere from the mid 80s to mid 90s for your Tuesday afternoon. And your Storm Tracker 7-day forecast, where your weekend's always in view. Mid 90s for today, down to the low 90s by Friday, and Chico staying there this weekend, and then high 80s for the start of next week. Redding, mid to high 90s today, down to the mid 90s for Wednesday and Thursday. Low to mid 90s on Friday, then low 90s through your weekend and the start of next week's forecast. So a nice cooling trend heading your way. Megan and Julia.